I started talking about sex and prevention, early, and it's interesting because I have a son and a daughter, particularly with the twins. Boys are, they just ask a lot of practical questions, and in fact, I remember the first time my son found a condom, and sort of as young boys end up doing in a totally sort of inappropriate time, perhaps, brought it to the dinner table, unrolled, and asked what it was, and it was it's like taking advantage of those opportunities that are sort of a natural teaching moments to talk about what a condom was and how it was used and why you used it, and of course, Daniel was totally focused on the practical applications of what the mechanics of the whole thing, but I think it is in some ways making it as natural as possible. And I think there are all kinds of opportunities I think we've seen as parents. Popular culture intrudes in our lives now in a way much more so than when I was growing up.
It's because of the incredible amount of media exposure with the lyrics and music,
right,
and the television, and your shopping, magazine covers, and so it's really everywhere, and part of it is, I feel, really important to just process and answer her questions and sort of help her with all of these visual images and information that she's trying to understand and deal with.
Right.
It's a difficult conversation, and it's evolving as we navigate it,
And that's right.
And sometimes I don't have the answers. So Marcel and I will go to a bookstore and we'll try to find it in a book, or we'll go on the computer.
Right.
And sometimes I don't have the answers, and I'll ask friends of mine, like you, who have gone through this stage already and may remember, like, what did you do when she was 10 and she asked this question, how did you handle it? So I think part of it is also going outside our network and finding support and answers, because it's evolving even fast for us, and sometimes we don't have the answer at our fingertips.
Right. I think for young women there are, as you say, a lot of issues. And a lot of them, and we know this from Planned Parenthood, as you're in your work as an educator, and we know around the country that for young people, for teens, they're interested, yes, they're curious about sex, but they're very interested in relationships. And I think that relationships, dating, sexual preference, orientation, identity, and I think those are the conversations that are equally important as to have. It's more than just how to use prevention or some of the more clinical aspects. It literally is how to stand up for yourself and your values and what you believe, and feel comfortable in a relationship